Hello and welcome back. This is art log number 4, and we are going to be continuing on with the Dem Beatz game guide. And over here I have a sprite. A player sprite, but this is going to be used as a basis for every enemy sprite. So what's going to be happening is how I want to do this basically is to integrate music, honestly. How do I explain it? Integrate the musical aspect of Dem Beatz. So the prompt keys. So if you are clashing with an enemy, like if you each punch at the same time or attack at the same time, a clash happens for certain enemies, and there will be a prompt. So kind of similar with, let me change the color, kind of similar with how Dance does it. There'll be like a indicator of what to do for it, and it doesn't have to be all of this. It could be press the X button, press the triangle button, press the square, press the circle. It could also be for keys, A, W, S, D, or something like that. It can be a mixture of these and this. It can be a mixture of this and this. It can just be these buttons, and it can also be just one button repeatedly. And this is going to be mostly for the modes you have. So easy mode, it's just going to be one button press that prompts you, and you prompt it in a certain sequence with pauses, delays, or repeatedly. Repeatedly, is that a word? It is now. Rapidly. Or the second version would be just the arrows. And then, of course, hard mode is anything goes. So you have to be ready to see practically everything. Now, because musical bars are a bit complex, like you see here, you're only going to be seeing one line. And on that line, let me change my eraser really quick, because my eraser is kind of big. Okay. So it's going to be one line, and then on this line, it's going to have X, or it's going to have up, and it's going to have what are we going to say? It's going to have maybe up, down, right next to each other, kind of thing, right? And then there's going to be, the play cursor that you see in most music players. There's going to be a cursor that goes slowly. Let's see. Let's do it this way. There's going to be a cursor that just slides, and once it's right there, you have that input right there, keeps going, input right there, goes once, input, etc. And then it switches to another bar with the music. So practically it changes after every bar change. So it could be circle, it could be a triangle at the end, and the bar will still move. Hit that when it gets to the center, else you kind of miss it. If you hit right here, it has to be dead center right here. Keeps moving, hit it dead center, and basically like that. And if you do it right, I'm gonna have like an indicator that says that's probably gonna be like maybe a different color when you hit it, and it's gonna pulse, and that's how it's gonna be done. So if you hit it accurately, it will pulse, and that's how it will be done. If you miss it, you miss it, there's no pulse, but if you hit it accurately, there's a pulse. Okay, let's see. Now, there's the other portion, but we won't get into that portion. That's mostly for bosses and players. But we're just going to do the enemy bar right now. I'm still going to keep it the same color scheme as the arrows. Like if you see, I'm going to keep it the same purple, white, black, only because I want it to pop out and not be not blend in the background of all the stages. So we are going to start off with, honestly, the bar, because that's easier. And guess what? We are going to use the line tool because, well, guess what? I am not good at making a straight line. So so that right there, I'm not gonna, oh my gosh, different color whites, stop that. Okay, and let's see, would 3 be good? Let's actually move this. Is it telling me it's straight? Oh, the degrees. Oh no, I still messed up. Mercy. I done still messed up. I still messed up. Alright. Let's try this again. I probably should be using my, Mercy, it's still like that. I probably should be using my actual hand instead of my pen. Let's try it that way. Okay. There you go. Let's do a small stroke. Let's do a 1 pixel stroke. See what that does. I like how there's no white, but that's fine. So now I want it to be a dynamic thing, which means I don't want to draw every single variation of a bar that can happen. So this will be a kind of a slight cheat and how things are coded. So first let me edit the line. It was a stroke 2. We're gonna make this stroke 1. I really wanted the white fill to be seen though. But it's not because the bar is probably too... Let me see something. The bar is probably too small. Yeah. And now it's too wide. For some reason. Okay, let me leave it as is actually. Let's go back. Let's leave it as is. Let's leave it like this. Actually, maybe we should do the reverse. And stroke it white. Okay. And then what do we do? Duplicate. How do we duplicate? I think it's Control J. Oh, I remembered. Control J is duplicate. So we're gonna keep the copy here. And we are going to edit this guy by merging this with another frame just to get it so we can make another stroke and see how that ends up. There we go. Now you see the stroke, right? There we go. And now we're gonna duplicate it again. Turn off the copy. And we're going to merge this again. I wonder if there's a hotkey. Well, there's probably a hotkey for merge. It's right here, Control E. I just have to remember it. All right, let's save. All right, so this is the bar. And I want the, let's see, arrow. Well, should we start with arrow prompts? We can start with arrow prompts, right? Arrow prompts. Now, oops. It's easier for color indications. So this orange, green, blue, where's yellow? Yellow. That didn't work out like I wanted. So I'm just gonna do it regular and pour it. And port this. Oops. And put this and alright, so now I have to put this back. Alright, there we go. Now we have our arrows. The arrows that, yes, that could do it. I'm gonna merge it and then this. See the difference if you have the stroke as there we go. Oh, and let's do the same thing. we need to merge it with another layer, that empty layer, to not get that ugly stroke. You know, I probably should have. Let's grab this arrow. So what we can do is there we go. So they can be like that. And what else do we have? We have this guy right here, right? And I need this blue. I need this yellow. I'm gonna name this orange. And then the green is somewhere. There we go. All 7 pixels separate of each other. And then the last one is green. There he is. There he is. We'll do the same thing. Control E. Name on green. It's all 7 pixels separate. Look at that. All right, and that's how it's gonna go. And like I said before, let me move these arrows. The actual arrow. Oops. Let me move these arrows to the actual arrow quads. Okay, so the bar is always going to be starting here. So you want to hit it right in the center here. 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 You see? And I'm going to isolate. Every arrow is isolated. So this can be actually here. This can go here if it wants. I'm going to make it so in the coding that the arrows can just be randomized. So when the clash starts, a sequence is going to pop up something like this. And then once it gets to the last one, once it reaches the end of the bar, it switches and makes another sequence. And it doesn't have to have the whole bar full. So it can literally just be, it can just be this and this. It can just be this and this. It can be like pretty much any sequence for the arrows. And I'm thinking any position. I could keep them at the same positions. That could also be helpful. But I'm gonna play around with it. So the arrows are done. So now we have the other keys. And the other keys, I'm thinking if I also want them to be color coordinated, or I want them to be like just generic and you have to just like read it. I think people work better with color indicators than actually reading if it's ABC on Xbox or X triangle, you know what I mean? I think I should really color code it like the arrows and keep those colors. So like in the help menu, I would not deviate from when you're looking up a move to do, or button presses like changing the controls. I wouldn't change the color coding for it, if that makes sense. So as an example, PlayStation buttons. PlayStation, let me do this. The triangle is green. And the circle is red. And the X is blue. And I believe the square is pink. It's pink. It's pink. So, oh goodness. And these would definitely be like that. So obviously you can see it. And then Xbox, what is Xbox buttons? Xbox has Y as yellow, and I think it's the same thing. X is blue. I think X is blue. And B is red. B is red. Actually, no. Y is it orange? No, Y is yellow. B is red. X is blue. And A is green. So there's that. Now the keyboard, because I'm gonna start it off on Steam. The keyboard doesn't really have color coding, but I'm still gonna like color code the keyboard. So I think I'm gonna use these as a rubric for it. And honestly, yellow and pink are like the only differences between them. So I think I will keep those the same. So if it's the heavy key, all these buttons should be the same. If it's the light punch key or the light attack key, it's these. If it's the jump key or whatever, it's gonna be these keys. The anything goes one, I think I'm gonna keep it black. So, and just have the shapes. So like the enter key, the shift key, control is more, actually no. I'm thinking out in my head. I'm gonna try and keep all these symbols like the same size just because it's on the bar. So you will have to pay attention to the special keys, but that's only in hard mode, so it's not going to be crazy. Normal mode is honestly just going to be the arrows. Easy mode is going to be one of these buttons, and it's going to stay as one of these buttons. So you're on easy, basically. And hard mode is just literally anything. So the space bar, the jump key, the shift, the block, etc. So it can be anything goes. So given that, let's make these. And I think I want to make them pop more and have a box. Now that I think about it, have a box around them. So You can still see it and the color. So I feel like it should have a box. So let's get cracking. I'm probably gonna speed through it just because we're already on the 40-minute mark. You know, it's bulky, but I think I changed my mind about so what if instead of a thin cursor, it's a box cursor? So when it gets into the box, then it highlights all the symbols that you need instead of it being a cursor. I think I'm going to change it to a box only for clashing. Only for clashing, it would be a box. And I think I'm going to do that way. I changed my mind. It's going to be a box. That way it'll be easier so you know you're in clash mode. All right, so that's about it for the Clash prompts for Switch, for PlayStation, Xbox, and keyboard keys. Now I may do more with these, just because now they look kind of bulky as compared to the button presses. So I might put square keyboard key black space right here, just to keep it uniform with everything else. Well, thank you for being on this journey with me, and I'll see you next time.